Hey, what's up, Arnimane? My name is Arnimane, and welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. This is a series where I answer Would You Rather questions you guys left for me in the comments section below. If you have any Would You Rather questions, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. If you missed any of the previous episodes, there will be a link in the description that'll take you to the entire playlist. And of course, if you do enjoy this episode, make sure you hit that like button for me. It does show your support for this channel and this series. It lets me know you guys want to keep seeing Would You Rather episodes. Now, before we begin, I just want to say that you guys left a crap load of Would You Rather questions, and I'm going away next week, so I'm going to be answering all of them, but it's going to be answered in this episode and next episode, and next episode is when I'll be gone. So the following episode after the next episode, that is when I'll collectively answer all of Would You Rather questions from this episode and next episode. If that makes any sense to you guys, awesome. If not, I'm sorry, I failed life. But with all that out of the way, like I said, I'm going to be splitting this episode into parts, more or less. So I'll be answering 4 questions in this episode, and then whatever is left over, I'll be answering in next week's episode. So with all that out of the way, let's move in to this week's Would You Rather questions. Starting us off this week, we have Dark Teen Titan, who asks, would you rather sleep next to a dead person or sleep next to a dead animal? I don't know. It's hard to say, because I find dead animals to be really grotesque, but at the same time, it's just like a dead person. Like, I think that would haunt me more than sleeping next to a dead animal. I just feel like, I don't know, a dead animal to me, it's easy for me to write off than a dead person. It just seems a little more creepier to me. So I would think I would much rather, even though like the dead animal is a little more disgusting, may make me vomit more than a dead person. I think the dead person would, like I said, would haunt me, in my dreams, or like make me, I don't know, freak out a little more at dead people. I don't know, but I think I would much rather sleep next to, I don't know, because would a dead animal smell more than a dead person? I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I don't know, but okay. I think I'm much rather. I was gonna say I much rather sleep next to a dead animal, but then I'm just like, then it depends on the animal, right? I would obviously rather sleep next to a dead cat than a dead person, but I don't think I would like to sleep next to a dead rotting whale over a person, because I think a person would smell bad. So, smell bad. I think so. Really, what it comes down to is what animal are we talking about here? So. Yeah, but I think regardless, I think I would much rather sleep next to a dead animal over a dead person. But again, it really comes down to the animal. Like I said, if it's a fucking rotting whale, and I'd much rather sleep next to a dead person, I think that would haunt me less than a fucking dead whale. But anyways, so yeah, we're going with that animal. Thank you for your question, Dark Teen Titan. Let's move on to the next one. I Am Paradise asks, would you rather be a part of Adolf Hitler's army or Osama bin Laden's army? This is really tough, because it's like, they're both like, I guess you could say terrorist organizations, whatever, right? And if you go with Adolf Hitler, it's pretty much a genocide. Or you can go with Osama bin Laden, who just, I guess, is a really horrible, I don't know. These are like very, very horrible groups of people, and it's really hard to decide between the two. But, my lord, I want to say I would go with Adolf Hitler's army. I honestly cannot think of a reason why. Maybe they would show more mercy than Osama bin Laden's army. I have no facts to back any of this stuff up either. But I think I would much rather be part of Adolf Hitler's army rather than Osama bin Laden. I don't know. Osama bin Laden just seems like a real dick. Like, I know Adolf Hitler is too, especially if it is true that he got mad because he couldn't get into a Jewish art school or something, and that's why he did all this stuff. But, I don't know. I'm going with Adolf Hitler, and to be honest with you guys, there's no particular reason why, just because I just don't like Osama bin Laden and anything he does. Well, then again, that same thing applies to Adolf Hitler. But anyways, we're going with Adolf Hitler. Thanks for your question. I Am Paradise. Let's move on to the next one. Michelle G asks, would you rather always have bad dreams or always have wet dreams? Always. Michelle has the great questions. Well, the amazing questions. Would I always have bad dreams or wet dreams? Well, the thing is, like, as awesome as wet dreams may sound, there's nothing beneficial from it. Like, it's not like I wake up being, oh yeah, that was the greatest thing ever. You wake up with a boner, which is actually more inconvenient than anything, especially when you wake up, like, the first thing you do is you go to the washroom, so you have to leave your room with a boner. So, that's not really good, especially when people are already awake and you have to, you have to, like, tiptoe to the washroom to, you know what I mean? It's very awkward, and it's not that fun. It's not like, I don't know if women think that waking up with a boner is a very hot sexual thing or something like that, and we love it. It's not. It sucks. You know, it's one of those, like I said, it's one of those things that make things really, really awkward. But then again, always having bad dreams, that could like really torment my mind and stuff like that. And you put it on the same level as, like if you compare it to always waking up with a wet, you know, or always having a wet dreams. I guess you could say a wet dream would be a sexual dream, and which to the point makes you come. I guess that's what a wet dream is. But while you sleep. So, but like I was saying, like bad dreams, it just means I'm always gonna have nightmares, bad dreams, and you know, I think that eventually it will get to the point where it's bugging me, and I would never want to sleep. However, a wet dream though, if you think about it, if it actually is that every dream that I'm having is some kind of sexual dream, I guess it's really not that bad if you're comparing to always having a bad dream or a nightmare or whatever. So I think I would probably always go with having a wet dream. Not because I like the sound of it or anything, it's just because in comparison to bad dreams, I think that would be a lot easier for me to deal with. You know what I mean? So, I think, yeah, so we're going with we're going with wet dreams. Thank you for your question, Michelle G. Let's move on to the last one. Rachel Emma Watts asks, would you rather eat cat food for the rest of your life or eat bananas with glue on it? What the hell? You know, okay, eating bananas with glue on, like, sometimes I feel like bananas already have, like, a weird texture, but then adding glue onto it would make the texture of the bananas even worse. Like, it's one of the reasons why I don't like pineapple, I don't like olives, I don't like mushrooms, because I feel like the texture is really, really disgusting in my mouth. And bananas, like I love the taste of bananas. I think that's the only reason why bananas are there. Because if it had any worse of a texture, I probably wouldn't like bananas in my mouth. Wow, that sentence sounds really gross. But now you're adding glue on it. It just sounds really, really worse. But in comparison to eating cat food for the rest of your life, have you ever eaten cat food before or dog food? Because I have. I've tried my, not my cats, but I've tried a cat's, you know, kibble before. I was there one time, when I worked at I worked nights at a grocery store. I was there to $20 to eat. I don't know if you guys have them in the States, but they're called Beneful's. They're little tiny bowls, for dogs. And it looks appetizing, you know, it looks freaking awesome. It's just, you know, meat and gravy more or less with a little bit of vegetable cut. That shit is disgusting as fuck, my lord. But I got paid $20 for it, so it was worth it. But yeah, like cat food, dog food, you know, it's not, I don't know how cats and dogs can eat that stuff, but I fucking hated it. I didn't like it at all. It was disgusting. And so I think I would much rather go with bananas with glue on it, even though I don't know, would glue harm my, I guess it'd have to be edible glue, right? And as long as I eat it and it doesn't close my mouth shut or glue my mouth shut, I make sure I rinse my mouth out when I'm done every single time to make sure no glue is still in my mouth. I think I'll be okay with that. Only eat bananas for the rest of my life over cat food and dog food or any kind of pet food. Yeah, fuck that shit. But thank you for your question, Rachel Emma Watts. And I just want to say, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Just to let you guys know, the rest of the questions that were asked last week will be answered in next week's episode, so do stick around for that. It'll be uploaded, like I said, next week, next Wednesday. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, make sure you smash that like button for me. Show your support for the channel and the series. And of course, if you have any would you rather questions, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, stay dirty.